What's up, netizens? You're watching DarkStar, the only reaction channel that just lived through 14 million possible outcomes for this battle, and Strange only wins one of them. My name's Anthony. Go by fellow reaction news. Joey, Chris, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
So I guess that means that Tony is voting for Fate.
I did. I tried to see if I could find anything that would be a good thing. I looked up a little bit of Dr. Fate, just as powers and shit like that. They seem pretty OP. So, fair warning. I researched a little bit for this guy. Probably about
You
5
can't
minutes.
fuck with a master of the dark arts, man.
Yeah, I like Doctor Strange way more. Dr. Fate, honestly, he kind of looks stupid. Sorry, Dr. Fate fans, he looks real dumb to me, personally. But he did look pretty. His powers seemed kind of OP when we were talking about it. But Dormammu's pretty OP. Strange fights him, so.
See, here's where my issue is, dude. All right, let's be real for a second.
Okay, wait.
All right? No.
What are you gonna talk
Can't
about?
do
You gonna talk shit about Dr. Fate or Dormammu?
Not Dormammu. I like
Okay.
Dormammu. Dormammu's a beast.
I was gonna say
I
we're gonna have to fight.
No, Dormammu's fine. This is where I need to try to control my anger, because I get mad at Screw Attack for making some dumbass battles. Whenever we watch battles and me and you are both at agreement, I mean, sometimes I'm a little bit more, and that's just because I'm an asshole. But sometimes we're at agreement where it's like, why is this even a fight? Like, why? Who? And then I remember, only after I've let out my rage and have yelled at Screw Attack, which I'm sorry sometimes, but sometimes I'm not, of the fans voted for this. The fans voted for this. I can't tell you how many times I've been watching stuff and I've just been, Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate, please. Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate, please. So if I watch this analysis and it's as one side as you're somewhat making it out to be right now, it's gonna be why? Why? I wouldn't even do the research, honestly. I tell the fans go fuck themselves. Like, that's what I would do. I wouldn't do the research and be like, this is a landslide. Why'd you want this? Why? Because they both have Doctor in their name? I should have fucking done Dr. Seuss versus Dr. Fate. You wouldn't give a shit. With Doctor all the way around. It doesn't fucking matter. This is why. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like,
Now, when you
we
say
as fans should ask for legit fucking fight. Like Goku and Superman, I agree. That is a fight we've been asking for fucking ever. That one I get.
And it's more Dr. Fate or Dr. Strange?
He's saying it's more Dr. Fate. He said Dr. Fate's powers are fucking OP. I think Dr. Strange is OP too, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get in here and it's like, well, Dr. Strange is a planet buster in the magical realm, but Dr. Fate is a fucking galaxy buster. You know,
okay, I'll give you.
Gone.
I'm not saying Doctor
Thanos?
Strange. Doctor Strange is really, really, really powerful in the comics and stuff like that. So I can't speak to that because I haven't actually read those or gone through his stories or looked at his in-depth powers or anything like that. In the movies, he's not he's powerful, but he's not next level powerful like he is in the comics and stuff like that. All I'm saying is that when I looked up Dr. Fate, the first thing I just looked up just to see if I could get a comparison was Dr. Fate versus Superman. And it was Dr. Fate stomps, not even close. It's not even it's like Galactus versus Superman or something like it's just not not a real fight basically. So in my head, minus the magic, Dr. Fate or Doctor Strange wouldn't be able to beat Superman without some crazy magic, some of the next level stuff that I don't really know that much about, so I guess we'll see what happens in this battle or whatever. But they were saying they weren't talking about his magic though, just his magic, his sorcery or whatever. They were talking about for Dr. Fate, they were talking about his strength was near Superman's and all that stuff. And then on top of that he also had magic, which Superman is weak to. So
right.
It was this whole thing. Now I think Doctor Strange would beat Superman because Superman is weak to magic.
Correct.
And Doctor Strange is in that tier as well. So I do think Doctor Strange would beat Superman, so that's not necessarily something that's some end all or anything. I'm just saying in my head I was trying to think of tiers, and they were just putting Dr. Fate on this fucking seemingly unattainable crazy level. It's Superman. It'd be fighting a 4-year-old child to Dr. Fate. It's nothing, you know what I mean? It just seemed like they were pumping up crazy or whatever. So I'm not saying, I don't know. I won't know who I'm gonna choose. I probably will choose Strange anyway, just because I like Strange more. So I hope he wins anyway. I'm just saying it was that typical.
Fate, so we'll see.
It was that typical DC shit that was oh, look at this fucking feat from old DC, where he's literally there's like 800 all-powerful gods, like, and he's one of them. So
It's 20 minutes, so it's gonna be a hell of a battle.
because I'll say this just as a real quick as well. Superman from this most recent Justice League. This is just movies. I'm not talking about comics. Superman from this most recent Justice League would shit stomp Doctor Strange from the MCU right now. Like, he's way too fast, way too strong, and like we haven't seen any like crazy feats from Doctor Strange yet, other than the going to the dimension and fucking with Dormammu. But that was with the Time Stone. Presumably, if we're doing a fight, we're not just gonna give him the Time Stone. That'd be pretty absurd, I think. But if we're gonna give him the Time Stone, then maybe. My point being is that it's hard for me to understand how powerful Doctor Strange is, because I'm thinking the most exposure I've gotten to Strange is from the MCU, and he's way nerfed in the MCU compared to what he can do in the comics. So that's why I don't know yet until we get to the analysis what I think.
I think you should just start reading comics, Tony. Every character.
I don't like him, dude.
Every character. On both Marvel, DC, independent comics, Dark Horse, like all of them. Just all of them.
I should. Then, so this is how it works, right? So if I haven't read the comics and I don't know about it, the comments are going to be like, you haven't even read the comics, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. But if I did, I went and looked up literally every character for every single battle and came back, they'd be like, yeah, you're just wrong, you're stupid. It's like,
again,
there's no point.
Oh man, no pixels. I don't like it.
The art of magic is a perplexing thing. Only those with the right knowledge, talent, and willpower can truly claim to be the most powerful wizards of all.
Like Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme of Marvel Comics.
And Dr. Fate, DC's defender of cosmic order.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Dr. Stephen Strange wasn't just any brilliant neurosurgeon, he was the very best.
Too bad he was also a prick who cared more about the money he made than the patients he
What if
worked
he
on.
got in like a car wreck
Sensational
and broke his
patients bring
hands?
recognition. Recognition brings money, and money keeps Wellhaven's doors open.
Can't blame him though. When your entire family kicks the bucket one by one like Stevens did, it's kinda hard to get attached to anybody else. Also, money's just great.
Strange's talent at the operating table earned him celebrations worldwide. His work became more expensive, and his bank account rose into the millions.
And then...
What? No.
Don't text and drive, kids. Strange survived, but his hands got terrible nerve damage, making them
When did
useless
Joey
for
get into them?
complex tasks like, I don't know, surgery. Pretty inconvenient.
To find a cure, Strange spent his entire
Joey's handwriting,
fortune
too.
and
Holy
traveled
shit.
the
That
world
actually
until
is
he
accurate.
found the ancient one.
I will get on
He had
board with
heard of
that.
this man's befuddling mystic healing
sucks
powers,
ass,
and at
dude.
this point, he was up for trying anything.
But the old dude refused to cure him. Instead, he offered to teach Strange how to use magic himself and become a superhero. Who needs hands when you have magic?
Through his training, Strange discovered many secrets of the universe, along with plenty of handy spells. He has learned so many charms, jinxes, enchantments, conjurations, hexes, and incantations that it would be impossible to list them all now, but he certainly has his favorites.
Like the nearly unbreakable bands of Sidorak. Unless you're super strong like the Hulk or Thanos, no way you're snapping these chains.
He can surround foes in everlasting fire with the flames of Faltine, launch energy shots called the bolts of Balthak,
You hear say Balzac?
knock out foes with the mists of Morpheus, and shield himself using the 7 rings of Ragador.
Who the hell came up with these spell names? Whatever happened to plain old abracadabra? Everybody loves that one.
Other techniques of his include illusions, hypnotism, protective force fields, telekinesis, immortality, time manipulation, power stealing, teleportation, dimensional travel, transmutation, spell nullification.
And he can turn himself into a ghost! Ooh.
That's
Astral
his
projection.
astral form, a projection of Strange's soul separate from his body, which defies the laws of physics.
Look, Wiz, he can go through walls and fly around. That's a ghost.
To invoke these spells, Strange audibly calls upon the powers of the Vishanti, three godly beings of enormous power.
Oh, that one's a kitty.
I summon forth the shielding powers of the Vishanti.
Impressive. This sure puts Mysterio's hocus pocus to shame.
Anyway, after many years of study, Strange's mentor was slain by a creepy hentai monster, and Strange was granted the title of Sorcerer Supreme, which is like a normal sorcerer with all the toppings.
As Sorcerer Supreme, Strange was deemed the most powerful magic user and defender of the world. To better perform his duties, he carries numerous magical artifacts which assist him in battle.
The Cloak of Levitation lets him fly without magic and has a mind of its own, like Aladdin's magic carpet, but way more stylish. The Wand of Watum amplifies his powers, and the Axe of Angaru, whatever, cuts through mystical beings. Fun fact, Strange found that axe in my ex-wife's old witch cave. I mean apartment.
But most versatile of all is the Eye of Agamotto. With this amulet, Strange can perceive any truth, absorb massive amounts of energy, enhance his psychic powers, and fire a light that can weaken and obliterate magical entities.
If you haven't noticed, Dr. Strange is super powerful. With all this magical mumbo-jumbo, he's taken on some of the biggest threats in the universe.
Set me free! No. I've come to bargain.
And if he ever gets stuck, he basically just rewrites the rules of reality, which is probably what happens when you divide by zero.
That's not even possible.
Exactly! It's Magic Whiz. Anything can happen.
Strange's astral form has traveled across the planet in, quote, precious seconds, putting him at several million miles per hour.
Even better, when Adam Warlock once used an Infinity Gem to banish Strange to the far reaches of the universe, Strange just cast a spell that zoomed him all the way back. So yeah, F you, Adam.
Oh,
Given what we
that'd
see
be a nice
here,
troll.
Dr. Strange was most likely sent to a void, or a large empty area between galaxies. The void where our galaxy resides is about 2 billion light years in diameter, with the Milky Way set relatively close to the center. Based on Strange's conversation here, we can assume a generously short time frame of 5 seconds. So, Strange must have moved over 4.2 septillion miles per hour. That's 6 quadrillion times the speed of light.
Damn! Oh, how about that time he ripped the soul out of his arch nemesis and sent him back in time? Or when he restored his Cloak of Levitation from mere scraps? Or when he beat up Galactus and totally scrambled his brain?
With his immense magical prowess, Strange has survived blasts
Holy
from
shit.
Voltor, a robot with the power to move stars, and even withstood a supernova. At minimum, an exploding star outputs over 350 septillion gigatons of TNT. That's 6 octillion times greater than the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever made.
Not impressed yet? Well, Strange can manipulate and detonate stars himself. That's right, this guy uses supernovas as weapons.
Strange is exceptionally clever, and while his physique is not superhuman, it's worth noting that he is a talented athlete and martial artist. This is important as the use of magic can wear down the magician's body if it is unfit. His immortality has also proved incredibly useful.
I'll say, he's looking pretty good for a guy born in the 1930s.
More than that, at one point Strange was recruited by the Vishanti to fight in a magical war, which lasted 5,000 years.
Holy shit! I hope he got some really good veterans benefits after that. But for real, this guy has the power to protect the universe and reshape it however he wants. I know which doctor I'm calling the next time I'm sick.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Strange.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, that was pretty crazy.
Tell me, Boomstick, do you believe in fate?
I only believe in one thing, Wiz. 18-year, 100-proof whiskey.
Let's
Well,
go.
after accompanying his father on an archaeological expedition in Mesopotamia, 12-year-old Kent Nelson certainly did.
Instead of digging up boring old artifacts like tools or pottery, Kent uncovered a 10-billion-year-old god. Too bad waking him up also gassed Kent's dad to death.
This slumbering god was Nabu, a lord of order born from the very beginning of the universe. While Nabu normally cares little about the universally inconsequential concerns of individual humans, this time was different. Nabu took the newly orphaned Kent under his wing and taught him the ways of magic.
Oh, sweet! I'd take a god dad over an ordinary one any day. But
Fuck you,
really,
Dad.
just take any dad.
Though Nabu wasn't too keen on the actual
Too real, dude,
parenting
too real.
part of the deal, so he just magicked Kent into a
make it
full-grown
out,
adult
for
over
sure.
the course of a week.
Does that mean he got hit with all those years
Am
of
I
awkward
Dr.
puberty
Fate?
all at once? My God, talk about a mood swing.
To master the mystic arts, Nabu granted Kent 3 ancient relics. First and foremost, Kent donned the golden helmet of fate.
Well, Kent woke up the physical body. Nabu's soul is actually inside this helmet. So when Kent put it on, his spirit merged with Nabu's and they became Dr. Fate.
I am an agent of order.
Wait, he's 12. Technically, he can't be a doctor yet, right?
Well, in time, he became a trained physician and achieved a PhD in archaeology.
Good for him. Anyway, he's also got the Cloak of Destiny, which gave him flight, super strength, and superhuman durability.
Lastly, he received the Amulet of Anubis, a talisman which increases Fate's powers, counters opposing magic,
That right
and can
there,
launch an
still
intense
Joey's
beam
vote.
of magical
a
fire.
wrap.
It also houses its own pocket dimension,
Fate
where the
wins.
souls of past Dr. Fates reside.
Oh yeah, lots of people have worn that shiny helmet, and not all of them were doctors. Even Kent's wife Inza got in on the magic action. But Kent is, like, the main one, so we're sticking with him.
As Dr. Fate, Kent became the immortal champion of the supernatural Lords of Order in their fight against the
Doctor
vile
Who.
Lords of Chaos.
And he learned tons of wacky wizard skills he can use with just a thought. Perfect for putting chaos gods in their place.
Fate can use telekinesis, cast illusions, erect force fields, hypnotize foes, read minds, teleport vast distances, create an astral projection of himself, travel through time and dimensions, and even manipulate matter at a molecular level.
Let's face it, Wiz, he's so powerful he can basically do whatever the hell he wants. Like that time he did a Freaky Friday body swap with Blue Beetle like it was nothing. He can even conjure up Superman's Kryptonian powers for himself. That's right. This guy can just decide to be Superman for a day.
With his mighty magic, Fate has turned buildings into dust, thrown a planet into a sun, and physically held back the destruction of the universe.
The helmet, just the helmet, once flew through space so fast it reached the velocity of God, and then bounced off the edge of the universe. What the hell does that even mean?
Fate has regenerated his body from a single thought, withstood hits from the likes of Superman and Ultraman, and somehow survived in a dimension of reality where literally nothing exists.
Who the hell is writing this crap?
Also, when DC decided to reboot their entire comic line, Fate was one of the only characters to survive the crisis that literally collapsed the multiverse.
But he does have one big weakness. The helmet is Nabu, and Nabu is the source of Fate's powers. So if you remove the helmet, he loses his magic.
For the most part, Kent does possess some magical ability of his own, like telekinesis and super strength, but he's not even remotely close to the potential of Dr. Fate. And even further from the true Fate. When the souls of a man, a woman, and a god come together, in this case Kent, Inza, and Nabu, they create Dr. Fate's ultimate state of being, an entity with enough power to rip the universe apart and effortlessly overpower other Lords of Order and Chaos.
Sadly, like all menage a trois scenarios, keeping this going for too long could destroy all three of them. So Fate doesn't go final form unless he absolutely has to.
Still, the people of the cosmos can sleep easy knowing Fate is on their side.
Your fate is utterly binding.
Who are you?
Well, let me show you, my friend.
All
Okay.
right, the combatants
Okay.
are
Fuck, this
set.
one's
Let's
tough.
end this debate once and for all.
This one's tough to me. I mean,
That Anubis line, though.
I legit. I mean, fuck, dude.
They're both crazy powerful. I'm going to go Dr. Fate because I feel like DC people, their feats are considered to be more impressive than some of the Marvel feats. Like just the top tier people they beat or fight against are normally just seem more powerful than the Marvel people. Go with him because they gave fucking Strange all these speed feats and throwing this fast, and you didn't really get none of the mathematic feats for Fate, which makes me seem like no, we don't have to use them. I don't know. It's gonna be a good battle.
Sometimes they go the opposite way of that, though, where they're like, well, he actually did this, but as you can see from these numbers, they're actually not even close.
Yeah,
Sometimes
right.
they do that shit, too. I don't know. They both... Because to me, this is almost like the line that you could say stood out to me in terms of what you're saying is where they said Doctor Fate can pretty much do anything. So can Doctor Strange. They're both basically to the point of like god tier, you know what I mean? Where like with what the feats they were given for each of them were basically both to the point where it's like, how do you even necessarily differentiate between which one's stronger? Because they can show which one has the better feats and stuff like that, but the way these characters are written, they've both done things that are so ridiculous and out of whatever that you can't say just because one of them did one thing doesn't mean that the other one couldn't have done that too. You know what I mean? Like Dr. Fate survived in literal nothingness. Okay, well Doctor Strange has done stuff that defies the laws of physics too. Why couldn't he do something like that?
I also feel like every time we hear somebody can manipulate matter itself, they literally fucking wreck people.
I mean,
he definitely said that.
It's really,
and he can turn. If he's gonna lose, he'll turn into Doctor Strange. So he could do that.
He could do that. He fucking.
Oh, he's gonna beat me. Hot fuck. We'll turn into him real quick then. Rewind what he just done.
That's true. I don't know. I just don't see how I didn't see anything from Strange that necessarily said he couldn't lose, and Dr. Fate had stuff like even when he didn't exist, he brought himself back into existence with a thought.
Mm-hmm.
They both survived.
That stuck out to me.
Yeah.
When they said the universe thing separated or whatever, and he came out of it or whatnot.
Yeah, well they said Strange survived the Big Bang, a second Big Bang or something too, which is like more like the creation of a universe. But still, the point, like they both really have like crazy durability feats, but it basically sounds like Dr. Fate can't actually die. Like if he can bring himself back with a thought, then how do you kill him? You just destroy the thoughts in the air. Like, how does that make any sense?
I'm back, not KO.
I mean, if I want, man, I guess I'm gonna try to win. I don't know, man. It's really hard. I'm gonna go with Dr. Fate. I think some of his stuff was more like reality defying.
I mean,
whereas
you
Strange,
could say it's just fate.
Strange just seems more like crazy powerful, but actually follows some sort of like rules, so he can actually be considered like human or like whatever. You know, like within like he could actually lose. The way they described Fate. He can't even lose. Like, how is he supposed to lose to anybody? Like, it's not a good character design in my opinion. But because of that, I guess I'm gonna go Fate. But it could go either way. I still think they're both really, really, really powerful.
Well, I know this is gonna be a very unpopular thing, but I'm gonna say it anyway, which is that DC comics are so bad that they had to make all their characters very, very fucking OP.
This guy.
And then that's why it seems like they have these incredible fucking feats, because all DC characters do is just constantly fight each other. So whenever you put these characters all the way, these heroes, if you will, all the way on that top scale, and all they do is just keep fighting each other because every other issue somebody's brainwashed or somebody's pissed off because they got kicked out of the Justice League, so they're going to start their own Justice League. Like, you know, it's very hard to topple that, to where, you know, Marvel actually gets shit done. You know, we actually make real villains. I mean, Thanos. So.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Thanos was dope.
Joker?
We make real villains. I mean, bro, we can all sit here and ride this train of Joker and Batman being the greatest hero and the greatest villain fucking thing to ever live. But at the end of the day, they're both normal fucking people with absolutely zero powers. That could happen in real fucking life.
By the way,
Joey can fucking put clown makeup on.
They
You can run
they
around
do.
a goddamn
But people do
batsuit
have. There are
and be the
real
same.
villains in real life, though.
Do what?
I said there are villains in real life, though.
Exactly. We don't want real life. We read comics because it's an escape from reality. We get to see these
Some
things
of
that
them are.
would never happen.
Some
If
of them
Thanos was to come down right now and pimp slap me with the Infinity Gauntlet, I'll fucking apologize for what I just said. But don't worry, I won't hold my breath. I'm not going to wait on that one.
Could you imagine Fate walking up in the Avengers headquarters, like on the current movie standing right now? Like, oh my god, he pretty much
like the comic book version of him.
no, the movie version we're in right now.
I mean, where do you cut off that line though, Chris? Because I mean, I could cut that line off too. Be like, I don't fucking care. I mean, there are animals in the world that have regeneration and shit like that. Like, there's sword fighting in the real world. Like, why would I? When there's guns, why would I want to watch a character like Deadpool? I'd rather just see somebody like Superman or something like that. I'm just saying, like, where are you gonna cut off that line? Like, there are people that are fans of like Cap and Batman and stuff like that.
Yeah, but see, you had to add all those together. I'm talking about one simple thing. There are dumbass
But that's
people
where you're cutting that line. I'm just saying somebody
running
could take that to
around-
the next level with the same logic.
I mean, I guess if that's what they want to. That's fine. Once again, I read a comic book because there isn't a person out there that's fucking regenerating fucking limbs left and right within fucking seconds, running around with fucking.
Well, there's no
baby
Gotham City,
hands and
so I
shit.
mean,
There's no Gotham City, correct? But there's dumbasses running around in fucking clown outfits, fucking trying to scare the shit out of people.
it's
and then
not
fucking
called
vigilantes
Gotham
turning
City
around and
though,
putting
so
their asses down.
technically,
I mean, let's go back to 2014, the rise of the fucking clown epidemic we had going on. Fucking Batman was saving us left and fucking right. Every person that had a goddamn gun was shooting these dumbasses. Like, I mean, it was there. He had it, dude.
I mean,
Regardless.
Batman does have things that are unrealistic. Like, you can't know every single martial
I'm not saying
art.
Batman's a dumb hero. I'm not.
It
What
sounds
I'm
like that's what
saying-
you're saying.
He better not. He
my
legit
original
get
point.
got.
My original point here was, which you guys took me away from, is that DC characters are so hyped that there's not another step for them to go, which is
Yeah.
why the majority of the DC comics are them just fighting each other. Like, it's just
True,
an
true,
endless fucking
true.
cycle of them
Well,
fighting each other.
okay.
That's all it is.
Okay, but two things to that. So I agree with you. Two things to that. So that's one. So one, actually, a bunch of things to that. So one, that's why they did the whole reset into like the New 52 and shit. It's because they got so OP to the point where it was just like over the top ridiculous. Two,
But how did they do the reset?
what do you mean?
They went to another dimension where there was already another group of them and fucking did all that shit. I mean, it was the same thing.
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
I'm
they
just
used-
saying, like, the
they
New
used
52 versions
they
of them
used
are
the
all
issue.
way less powerful than they were in, like,
Oh,
the
absolutely,
pre-crisis.
completely.
Like,
I agree with
crazy.
that.
Like, pre-crisis Superman is significantly stronger than New 52 Superman. The same thing for Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and all them, or whatever. So, like, I'm just saying, the reason why they did that is so they could scale back the characters so that they can't do stuff like, so they can have characters come in and actually fight Superman where he can't just breathe a universe or a fucking solar system away with his fucking breath.
But as we just listened, that does not apply to Dr. Fate.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Stephen Strange.
Yep.
It has come to my attention that there are two Sorcerer Supremes in this existence. I am here to resolve this embarrassment.
Damn.
I see somebody needs a lesson in manners. Pitiful.
Taste the flames of the volcano! How's that for embarrassment?
Fool, you are merely a doctor. I am a god.
He's losing his helmet at some point. I have to survive without it for like.
This is April.
Oh my gosh. So was that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on they were in before that?
No,
You said it was April, right?
That was the fucking cantina, dude.
Before that.
Aha! I understand your power now.
Oh, there it goes.
So the god is just a man in disguise. Let's see how you fare with him. Shut up! Oshner, grant me the crimson bag with
What
Cinerad!
face?
A friend once told me the helmet doesn't make the man.
But I will use it!
In this case, the helmet definitely makes the man.
And this is my final form.
Oh shit, you think it'll work? You're hyping this up.
He's gonna let him power up. It's so smart. It's genius. Oh, okay, he's blowing him back. Okay.
I can't stop you here.
Oh shit.
In there.
Oh, Strange might have this.
By the hoary hosts of August. Where am I?
Dr. Strange, welcome to our home. Welcome to the
He is getting the
Holy shit. What does that even do to him?
I don't feel so good. Oh shit.
Damn.
Okay, I didn't think he was gonna die in the real world. What happened?
So,
Well, I mean, they
doctors
legitimately
take
killed
an
his
oath to
fucking
never
spirit.
take a life or whatever?
Analyzing this matchup
I don't
was
know what else
bizarre.
would have happened without
You might even
Joey.
say it
It'll be
was
fine.
strange.
Oh,
Save the puns, Wiz. That's my job. But yeah, both these doctor wizards
Was
were
April
so
newscaster?
stupidly powerful. Trying to find their
Yeah,
limit was
right?
like looking for
Okay.
a needle
The
in a
Ninja Turtles?
haystack.
Yeah, she
But
was.
nobody
Yeah, that was
remembered to
definitely
put the
Teenage
needle
Mutant
there in
Ninja
the first place.
With their maximum potential seemingly unmeasurable, it's easy to make an argument for either one to win. If given the chance, Strange could have certainly, say, stolen Fate's powers, or maybe even just willed him out of existence.
I bet plenty of Strange fans are letting us know how in the comments below.
And that's fine, but Death Battle looks at the larger picture to find the most likely outcome of them all, and Fate simply held the advantage on a grander scale.
Strange may have fought a 5,000-year war, but Nabu's been around since the beginning of the universe. Over 10 billion years. He definitely had way more experience.
Fate also had the advantage of casting the majority of his spells non-verbally, while many of Strange's required specific hand movements and incantations. Still, it was only a matter of time until the Eye of Agamotto informed Strange of Fate's one weakness.
Depowering him wasn't as easy as you'd think. He had his own magic, and his superhuman strength was something Strange didn't have at all. Basically, anything Strange could do, Fate could do too. But even more.
Remember how Strange cast a spell which moved him 6 quadrillion times the speed of light?
Yep. Now remember how Fate's helmet flew from Earth to the edge
what
of the
Joey was talking
universe and
about.
back?
It took about 1 year to make this trip. Given the estimated scope of the observable and unknown universe, a trip of this magnitude would require the helm to fly nearly 28 decillion times the speed of light. That's over 4 quintillion times
Learn new
faster
words
than
every day.
Strange.
Look at it this way. Strange was a man borrowing the
Joey's like
powers of
school.
God.
A decillion
Fate's
miles
a
an
god
hour.
borrowing a
Decillion
man.
miles per hour,
Once
that's
that
it.
power
No, it's
boosted
decillion
into soul
times
from
the speed of
amulet,
light.
Put Fate
Oh.
on a level
The speed of
above
light
the
is
gods
like
in his universe.
millions of miles per
Something
hour.
Strange can't really do himself.
Both Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate
You learned
possessed
that Death Battles on
incomprehensibly
YouTube.
impressive magic, but Fate held more experience, greater physical abilities, and a wider range of talents.
Which left Steven stuck with a strange twist of fate.
The winner is Dr. Fate.
I can't even get on board with that one.
Thanks for watching.
I can understand why they came to the conclusion they did. I mean, based on the analysis they gave, I kind of agree. Not necessarily that he's a better character, though, but that he would win. So, is what it is. That is gonna do it for this one. It was pretty good, just quality-wise. I want to say too. Am I the only one who thinks when they do like the fucking John faces thing, they look weird? Like it looks like a joke thing. It doesn't look good to me. It looks
like comedy.
You know what it reminds me of? Like, you know the troll face? Like the meme? The troll face meme or whatever? Like it like reminds me of like that, or like Flash gets like animation and stuff like that, what they do with the faces to like make them look ridiculous on purpose. But in this one they're trying to make them look serious, I think. So, I don't know. Not really a fan of that. I think they should just leave them like if they're going to do the 2D ones, just leave them kind of. All right. Well, let's go ahead and call it on that one. Good battle there, Chris Grease.
Yes, sir.
Till next time, stay right. Catch you on the dark side.
What's up, YouTube? Did you like that video? Then don't forget to like and subscribe. You can support us on Patreon if you want to get early access to all our series. Check out the links in the description below. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch. We post polls and play games. And as always, thanks for watching.